Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Inspiration Trilogy podcast. This is a platform where we're sharing wisdom, advice, and knowledge to women across the globe on a variety of topics: health and wellness, spirituality, and just general life. So today we have the wonderful Laura Palermo from Amethyst Light Therapies with us. So welcome, Laura. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. I'm really pleased to have you on here today and to be able to share your wisdom and all that you do. So tell us a little bit about yourself and Amethyst Light Therapies.
Well, so I actually am partnered with my mum, so Angela, who's not here today, but so myself, I probably started my spiritual journey. Oh, I can't say that there's a pinpoint moment, but personally, I think part of my process was definitely healing, and so I'm very passionate about that now. And that's probably even though it might not come across all the time on my platform, my passion is healing and helping people, empowering people to heal themselves. And I think sometimes, yeah, so I think sometimes that um, that's something that is the most important in people's life before they can take that next step. Amethyst Light Therapies is a dual effort, which my mum is a Reiki master, and she sort of has started her spiritual business quite a little bit while ago before I did, and I jumped on the bandwagon. I think she kind of inspired me. I think our journey has been together a lot throughout my life. We've supported each other, and so this has sort of been that next step for us.
Yeah, that's so beautiful that you're able to do that with your mum. I think that's such a special relationship that you share. That's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's, at times it can be, difficult because, mother-daughter dynamic,
Yes, yeah.
but I think because our journey, we've always, it's been a lot of the time, the two of us, very close. So we've really had to support each other through ups and downs. And so
Yeah.
I think that it does help. We've got that really strong bond. And I think we're both passionate about helping people and supporting others and helping them to empower themselves. So it's been a natural progression. But yeah, she's wonderful. She's a great mum, and I'm
Oh,
really honoured to be able to work with her in this way. So she doesn't
oh,
show her face that much on social media, but she likes to be more behind the scenes. But she's a powerhouse in her own right, and
oh,
I think I'm pretty lucky. So yeah,
oh,
once I
that's
get the nerves out of the way, I can start to get in the flow of conversation.
oh, and we all feel that as well. So,
Yeah,
like I said,
yeah,
I think it's so special that you've got that amazing bond. And I think, when you do go through so many challenging situations throughout your life, which I've been through and many other people have been through, you learn and you grow and you develop bonds with those people that you help you through that as well. And I think it's so important for people to be able to tune into themselves and empower themselves, like you say, by understanding their true inner gifts and just
yeah,
tapping into that knowledge and that wisdom and that calmness as well.
yeah,
Because I had a major car accident, I think 10 years ago now. And so
yeah,
during my recovery, I had a lot of physical disabilities. After that I had to work on. I had a severe brain trauma. I had to work on my speech and just being able to walk properly and things like that. So it was very challenging for me, but meditation and focusing on, tapping into my inner self, which I'd done prior to that, but I did on a much deeper level, was something that really empowered me in my development and my recovery. And it's such a
yeah.
powerful thing. So I also know, so you have multiple abilities. So you're a psychic abilities, you do mediumship, you do meditation, you do sound healings, you do a variety of things. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about what's your favorite, if there's anything that I've missed, tell everybody a little bit
Okay.
about all your gifts that you have.
Yes. So I am very strongly empathic. I probably would say that that is my most predominant psychic or intuitive gift, which
Yeah.
has been a struggle my whole life, mind you.
Yes, it can be
Um,
it can be challenging because you do take on so much. I have a little bit of that myself, so
yeah.
yeah, it's a
Yes.
gift
And
and a challenge.
yes, that's it. Once you understand, because when you're younger, you don't understand what's going on for you a lot of the time, and so
Yeah,
that is part of the struggle. But once you understand, you can sort of get, I suppose, have more practical ways to deal with that and be in control of your energy.
yeah,
But I so I do sound healing now for the last few years. Um, but that one was probably the most scary thing for me because I predominantly use my voice. I use crystal bowls and a few other tools, but my difficulty my whole life, which is interesting because it's now what I share, has been to find my voice. And so that for me, and then sharing it has been very empowering and powerful for my personal development process and opened me up a lot more since then. But also, too, I've found that it's really assisted others
yeah,
um,
yep,
as well. And I think my passion, even though it's also the thing that scares me the most, is using my voice. And the sound healing, chanting, singing. I do a bit of channeling when I do my sound healing now, which as a control freak too, I have had to kind of ease off on that a little bit. You know, I've tried to let it flow without getting my brain involved.
yeah, and that's
But
actually really hard to do, isn't it? For
yes,
most
yeah,
people, let alone if you're used to. I mean, in the past, I was very similar in that I like to be in control, and that was your safe space. So it's
yeah.
learning to let go and just go with the flow is hard, but it's beautiful once you get to that point. So
Yeah, exactly. And so I
yeah,
don't step out of the way in any regards. I'm still aware that I'm in the space and channeling. It's just sort of like mostly my throat and they sort of take over, but I could take control at any time. So I think sometimes that's what's like I can sort of step in the way a little bit because while I'm letting go, I'm still very aware of the whole process. And so
yeah.
it's a bit strange. It's like trans channeling, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
wow. That's a very special gift.
but
And I must admit, I have listened to some of your singing and your meditation. And while it's been online, it's still very powerful and it just resonates into right into my cells. I can't explain it. And it's so powerful listening to it. And I'm sure you've had others say this to you, but it's just what you do is it's so amazing, and the chanting and the healing and it, like I said, it just, I feel it right inside my core, and it's beautiful. I mean,
oh,
obviously it'd
thank
be
you.
more powerful in person, but even online it's incredible. So you're doing wonderful things, and
Oh,
I think you're amazing. I really love following you, and your journey and everything like that. So would you say that that's one of your favorite things, or or would you say, do you like the mediumship side of things as well?
um, I think it would probably be one of my favorite things. Although, so I do intuitive healing, which is also a blend, and I do a bit of like hands-on healing as well, which I love. I suppose it's just different, and maybe it's good to keep things interesting. Mediumship, I I'm not sure I 100% always enjoy it in the sense of there can be a lot of emotion. I appreciate the
Yeah,
healing that can be brought from it. But likewise, the emotion, and I think that being very sensitive to emotion is also probably one of the reasons why it's more difficult for me personally,
yeah. You
as
mean
in I feel it.
you
Yeah.
feel the emotions from spirit or the person that
Uh,
you're doing the reading for, or both?
Both. Yeah, both.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I sort of tried to shy away from that a little bit, the mediumship, but I've sort of been, nudged in that direction.
yeah,
So I think that I'm just going to have to embrace it. I do. I mean, I enjoy it to a I do enjoy it. It's more emotionally taxing, I think,
Yeah,
because as much as you maintain your own energy, you're still affected by the the um
yeah,
the
and you can
emotion
feel
of it
quite
all.
drained afterwards after you do a reading. I've heard that it's just because it does, it
Yeah.
kind of takes a lot out of you. And I,
Yes.
my understanding is, where the spirits are, wherever that may be, is such a beautiful plane of existence. And it's just incredibly, it's just full of love. I mean, and as most people probably hear, I guess in some of the books that I read, when I had my car accident, I had an out of body experience and near death experience, I guess. And the feelings that I felt, it was kind of like I was in limbo. And of course, obviously, I chose to come back, and I'll tell a little bit more about that story another time. But the feeling is just such a beautiful plane. But when they come down to Earth's energy field, all their, I guess, human emotions from when they were alive can sort of come into play a bit more. So that's really where you feel all of that, and the deep missing that they have of each other and that kind of thing, and the emotions that they felt perhaps when they passed. So I can understand that that would be incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
um yeah,
Um, I think that when spirit has gone to the other side, as in gone to the light, I
yeah,
think that when they come back, it's mostly that they're bringing love and support. But
yes,
there
yeah,
is that lingering energy of whatever has occurred, particularly for the person or the client coming in.
yeah,
That's where the majority of it that you feel it, the difficulty of the experience, even, and the memory of what's gone on for them personally.
yeah,
When loved ones uh, bring through messages, a lot of the time they're still from their human perspective, yes,
yeah,
but I think the hardest part is for people to be able to understand that, as in clients coming in to recognize that they're okay. I think it's the hardest part for them to let go of. They hold on quite strongly at times, especially when there's leftover or things that haven't been said, no
unresolved issues,
closure and that
yeah,
kind of thing. And that's where the most difficulty is. I mean, some spirits don't get over to the light, and that's another issue. As in, when
yeah,
people come to see me, it's normally like when they've passed over, and it's just that being able to say proper goodbye and feeling of love and being able to move forward.
yeah.
So
And
that, in
sometimes
that
they
sense,
just
it's
want to
more
be able to,
positive.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and they want to be able to say goodbye and share the gifts before
yeah,
follow on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I mean, I that part of it, the healing that can come from that is the most is very rewarding. But sometimes some people aren't is still not ready to let go, and so it can be a difficult process for them personally as
yeah.
well,
So I
depending
guess,
on the circumstances.
yeah. So I guess what would you suggest? Obviously, try and be in a place that where you are ready for the reading, and you're ready to hear whatever that may be.
Yeah,
Because yeah, some people, I guess, it's just wanting to not just wanting to have that last conversation, just wanting to really have that connection. And yeah, I mean, I've lost
yeah,
my brother years ago, and I understand what that's like. It's you just, and I struggled a lot, especially in the first couple of years. And I think my mind, I kind of just pretended I hadn't seen him for a while, and that was my way of coping. But yeah, and when I was ready to, I just wanted to have that conversation. So, and it
yeah,
heals yourself to be able to let go of them, and
yeah.
and know that they are in a good place. They're doing okay. So, and they're surrounded by lots
Yes,
lots of love and ancestors, and they're all looking after each other. So it's a beautiful thing.
yeah. And they get a lot of healing over there, they get a lot of healing, so the
Yeah,
human issues have been healed by the time they come back for that reading, come back to
yeah,
connect. Yeah.
yeah,
um I think it's important, especially for readers, to approach it from a place of integrity and knowing when, if it's not the right time, because
Yeah.
I learned at Mystical Dragon in Seaford, right? This is where I work now, and we have a very specific sort of structure to, and going through like the ethics about doing readings as well, because if people aren't ready, they're not going to get the most out of it, and they've really need that time, so it's not so raw, in order to really embrace the messages. So
yeah,
I
so
think
it's really filtering through what you do get, and acknowledging when you are ready for certain things or not. So you kind of middle person, of course, and doing what's best for them. So for people who are, everyone sort of has a different view, I guess, of these sorts of things, and yourself, you would have your own journey, but some people say you're either born psychic or you're not. Other people say anybody has that psychic ability within them. We're all born with that. We can learn to develop that. It's really more when you move to the mediumship side of things, where you tap into that higher level. So do you feel that anybody is capable of developing these, tuning into themselves, I guess, and a bit of psychic abilities with enough practice?
Yes. Well, so there are those who are natural mediums, for sure. And I believe, and it's my understanding, that we are all born with unique intuitive abilities. That is also different for everyone. We all have strengths and some things that we really have to work for, and perhaps some channels that are, we don't tap into as much. So it all depends on the person, the soul, and also their experience, because when we're children, we are much more in that natural state of being. So we're much more open, but then through conditioning and also denial of our abilities as well, I think we sort of turn them off, where we learn to shut them down. For instance, a child might be seeing a guide of theirs, but a parent might think it's their imaginary friend, and so that is denied, and so then they learn to tap out of that energy. So but some people are naturally born mediums. So when I say medium, I mean connecting with spirit, particularly people who are deceased. I mean, there's different forms of mediumship, connecting with guides and angels through that channel. But with our psychic senses, for instance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, everyone has a different skill, I suppose, that they can work on, but they're all muscles. And it takes practice learning how you work and how they work together for you to be able to open them up. I feel like it also depends on our experience and our human physical limitations as to if we can tune into that or not, because we do put ourselves through quite a bit during our lifetime. So, and that could be health, it could be even mental health. It could be a wide range of things that affect it. But I mean, not everyone, I feel, is clairvoyant. Or predominantly clairvoyant, for instance, or clairaudient. Some people very much more clairsentient, which is feeling.
And for those that don't know what I mean? Clairaudience, because most readers, hearers will know, but so clairaudience is the smells, isn't it?
Clairaudience is clear hearing, so hearing spirit, whether it be sort of like feeling like thought form or your own voice, or actually hearing spirit like it's another person's voice, or getting messages when you hear things, just snippets on the radio, that kind of thing. That's clairaudience. Clairvoyance is the sight from the third eye, the psychic sight. And claircognizance is clear knowing, so knowing, having more intuitive knowings. And then there's so clairsentience is clear feeling information. And then the taste and the smell is actually sort of linked to the feeling, but that's a more minor talked about, because not everyone gets a sense of that or recognizes that, I suppose.
Okay, so for those people who are, feeling like they want to perhaps delve into themselves a little bit more and develop what abilities they may have, where would you recommend that they start?
Personally, I would start with meditating, clearing your mind, getting grounded too, because a lot of people who are decide they want to open up their spiritual senses, so to speak, they do very much focus on upper, so chakras, our energy centers, particularly the third eye. And there's a lot of third eye meditations out there, right?
Yeah.
But really, we need to be looking at our overall health and well-being, because that is, if we're not fully grounded, strong in ourself, then we open ourselves up to all sorts of things, and we're not able to integrate the opening up process as well. So as we evolve, we're not able to integrate it into our being in our everyday life. So it's like a overall holistic approach, I suppose.
So working on yourself and your past, I guess, challenges and emotions and things like that, and getting to a state of calm and groundedness, and then developing from there. So I mean, I love meditation. It's something that I've been doing for years, and it's so powerful. But yeah, it's a fantastic journey, but there's a lot of different sorts of meditation out there as well. Of course, there's healing ones, there's ones where you can tap into your higher self, there's the guided meditations as well. So what sort of ones do you offer through your website?
Apologies, you just froze, so I didn't actually hear what you said. I just got website.
So there's a lot of what I was saying. So there's a lot of different sorts of meditations. There's healing. There's tapping into inner guidance. There's guided meditations and on more of a spiritual journey. So do you offer all of those ones through your business?
So currently, I actually take only in-person meditations. I haven't done online for a little while. I'm gonna get that back up and running shortly. So at the moment, I take meditations at Mystical Dragon in Seaford, where I work and hire a space for my healings. And it is my aim to get some more recordings up, which will be both guided, some sound healing, and working on specific chakras, particularly activations for the chakras as well. That is my intention. In person, my meditations have been a wide range, both from connecting with spirit guides to a lot of mine are focused on healing. And I tend to find that I set an intention for the meditation, but they do go with the flow. So I don't have a script anymore. I just bring it through and whatever is needed on the day. But if people are wanting to really tune into their psychic abilities or intuitive awareness and strengthen that and progress, it's good to do. So there are a lot of psychic development courses out there, and some are offered online and some are in person. It's good to get a good structure. So starting with the basics, like protecting yourself, looking after your energy, regularly meditating, overall health and well-being, that kind of thing. And I know I'm mentioning where I work a lot, Mystical Dragon, but I really found, because that's where I started, as in to really own my gifts, because I was lost for a very long time when I was younger, and I didn't. I knew I had these senses, but I didn't acknowledge them really. And I didn't learn practical ways to really maximize on those and sort of learn more about them. And I found the structure that I went through psychic development levels, that I was able to learn the fundamentals of taking care of myself and safely opening up over time. Because I feel like everyone has the ability to tune into their psychic or their intuitive abilities, and everyone has that because it is innate in everyone. It's just that when we don't always have the capacity to dedicate time to it, regular practice. And also there are healthful approaches and there are unhealthful approaches, and it's being safe about it.
Yeah. And oops. So, okay, well, look, thank you so much for everything that you've shared today. I love talking to you. I love hearing about everything that you've done. And, so for everybody out there who's wanting to connect with you, get a healing, get a reading, or just find out a bit more about you,
Oh, yes.
where's the best place to reach out?
So I am on Facebook and Instagram, or we are Amethyst Light Therapies. We have a website which is www.amethystlighttherapies.com.au.
We'll put that in the link
and there's a contact form. Yes, sorry. Email is good because so that would be just contact@amethystlighttherapies.com.au. And I man the emails, so I would get back to you from that. Otherwise, just DMing our social media. Yes, I try and get back to everyone as quickly as possible. So,
okay.
But yes, so.
Because look, I know that you have your time when you're doing your readings and things like. Obviously, you can't be interfered with the phone call, so that's why they're probably the best options. And for anyone out there, also, I definitely would say to follow your Instagram account. I know a lot of the younger generation on Insta. You do weekly crystal and card readings, and I love seeing what comes out in that. And actually, even though it's an open, I guess, general reading for everyone, the one that I choose always resonates with what's happening in my life. I don't know how you do it,
Awesome.
but it's amazing. So anyone who's, I would definitely say to follow the pages and try and see how it goes for you. So look, thank you so much again for today. I really enjoy your company, and we'll look forward to touching base again soon. And for everyone out there, we'll have some more podcasts coming out soon. I hope you've enjoyed today's chat, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.